The sunken land had been a myth of horror in the forgotten world of long ago for generations. But when Fafford and the Gray Mouser stumbled on it, they found reason, and more than reason, for that. "I was born with luck as a twin," roared Fafford the Northerner jovially, leaping up so swiftly that the cranky, none too seaworthy sloop rocked a little in spite of its outriggers. "I catch a fish in the middle of the ocean. I rip up its belly. And look, little man, what I find. Look!" The Gray Mouser drew back from the fish-bloodied hand, thrust almost into his face, wrinkled his nose with sneering fastidiousness, raised his left eyebrow, and peered. The object did not seem very small, even in Fafford's broad palm, and although slimed over a little, was indubitably gold. It was both a ring and a key, the key part set at a right angle, so that it would lie along the finger when worn. There were carvings of some sort. Instinctively, the Gray Mouser did not like the object. It somehow focused the vague uneasiness he had felt now for several days. To begin with, he did not like the huge, salty ocean, and only Fafford's bold enthusiasm and his own longing for the land of Lancamore had impelled him to embark on this long, admittedly risky voyage homeward across uncharted deeps. He did not like the fact that a school of fish was making the water boil at such a great distance from any land. It seemed unnatural. Even the uniformly stormless weather and favorable winds disturbed him, seeming to indicate correspondingly great misfortunes held in store, like a growing thundercloud in quiet air. Too much good luck was always dangerous. And now this ring, acquired without effort by an astonishingly lucky chance. They peered at it more closely, Fafford slowly turning round. The carving on the ring part, as far as one could make out, represented a sea monster dragging down a ship. It was highly stylized, however, and there was little detail. One might be mistaken. What puzzled the Mouser most, since he had traveled to far places and knew much of the world, was that he did not recognize the style. But in Fafford, the Northerner, it had roused strange memories, recollections of certain legends told round the flickering driftwood fires through the long northern nights, tales of great seafarings and distant raids made in ancient days, firelight glimpses of certain bits of loot taken by some uncountably distant ancestor and considered too traditionally significant to barter or sell or give away. Ominously vague warnings used to frighten little boys who were inclined to swim or sail too far out. For a moment his green eyes clouded and his wind-burned face became serious, but only for a moment. "A pretty enough thing, you'll agree," he said, laughing. "Whose door do you think it unlocks? Some king's mistress, I'd say. It's big enough for a king's finger." He tossed it up, caught it, and wiped it on the rough cloth of his tunic. "I wouldn't wear it," said the Mouser. "It's a bad omen, as is plain to see. It was probably eaten from a drowned man's hand and has sucked poison from the sea ooze. Throw it back." "And fish for a bigger one?" asked Fafford, grinning. "No, I'm content with this." He thrust it down on the middle finger of his left hand, doubled up his fist, and surveyed it critically. "Good for bashing people with, too," he remarked. Then, feeling restless and seeing a big fish flash out of the water and almost flop into the cockpit, Fafford snapped up his bow, fitted to a string of featherless arrow whose head was barbed and heavily weighted, and stared down over the side, 1 foot extended over the outrigger. A light waxed line was attached to the arrow. The Mouser watched him, not without envy. Fafford, big, rangy man that he was, seemed to acquire an altogether new litheness and sureness of movement whenever they were on shipboard. He became as nimble as the Mouser on shore. The Mouser was no landlubber, and could swim as well as Fafford, but he always felt a trifle uneasy